All right, well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. It's PastorDowell. I'm here again this morning. Looks like the sun is coming around, but anyway, it's not important about who you're looking at, but it's important for about what you're hearing. Defy your neighbor, but trust the government. We all have literally got to be appalled at how the government, through news media, propaganda of the TV set, sitcoms, or whatever it is it not remarkable and amazing? There used to be a time that the people had the power, and when you had a neighbor, you could actually go and trade some butter for sugar. You could trade some bread for a pie. You had communication with each other. There used to be a time you would wave at each other and really, truly, legitimately care about each other. Well, that's all but come full circle, hasn't it? You've got to give this system a standing ovation. You really, truly do. You got to clap your hands, because the government has done something in this world, and you can tell that the people are so deep in sleep that they don't even know what's done hit them, because every successive generation has gotten worse and worse and worse. And the reason why that we've gotten worse and we're going from bad to worse is because each successive generation learns how to be more selfish than the next. When you are self-centered, self-focused, and self-absorbed, you will end up utterly perishing. Think about this for a second. We live in a time now that even if you're righteous, even if you're providing for things honestly and stuff, are you following me? If you're doing something contrary to what the government puts out through the greatest propaganda source that there is, the TV, that your neighbor would literally be looking out the window at you, and if they see you doing anything that they think that is remotely close to breaking the law, for instance, today you're not supposed to be outside starting a fire. You know what I mean? To have a little campfire, because today, they say that you may burn down the whole neighborhood. So your neighbor looks out there and he go, oh, look at them. They're starting a fire. They pick up the phone. And mind you, everybody who knocks on you, everybody who tells on you, notice the government always keeps them anonymous. Somebody could call on you. I seen, our little children, they could actually just ran out of the back door and ran out of the backyard butt naked or something like this, and you're chasing them. And you know what happens? Oh God, I got to call 911. Look, what's going on? There's a woman and there's a man. They're chasing this little baby butt naked, and they're screaming and hollering at her. Next thing you know, here come the po-po up in your business at your house. Hey, you got to answer to them. So what have they done? They have used mind control at an unprecedented level, to where they now have society trusting the government but defying each other. And government by its very self and its definition is evil. Can you imagine that today that people trust more in the government that oppresses them than your next door neighbor who should be loving you? I tell you, it's systemic. It is a problem. It's all but literally madness, isn't it? Even out there where I live at, I remember a time we was doing a building project, and we had, of course, everybody knows who the neighbors are. Nobody else has a concern. If you see a cement truck coming down the road, and you see a couple of dump trucks coming down the road, if you see a building material truck coming down the road, first of all, number one is none of your business. But man, people will make things and make stuff their business, even if it's none of their business, all because the system has taught us how to, watch this, divide and conquer, how to, look at this, oppress each other and become an agent of the state. Can you imagine that? A literal agent of the state. In other words, there's no such thing in this world as, I'm looking at this neighborhood. Let's say you got 3,000 people get together and you've got a corrupt government. Those 3,000 people could easily go and overtake and overrun the 50 people that is in that government. But they have gotten it now to less than 1% of the people in the world can rule 7 billion people. Wow. Wow. How did they do that? Well, they did that by getting you to not trust each other. And of course, many of you shouldn't be trusted because there's nothing about your character. There's no integrity with you whatsoever at all. You fall into the same category, many of you, not all of you, but many of you do, to where you expect more out of others than you're capable of producing yourself. Heightened sense of hypocrisy. It's madness what they have done. They have used reverse psychology to the zenith today, and we don't even know what's going on. And now, if somebody even tries to be honest and provide for things honest and even try to be a help to you today, you can't even receive that because you're so used to being gamed. You're so used to being manipulated. You're so used to being abused. You're so used to people not being a man and woman of their word that you yourself have become a person not of your word. And as the only people you can trust in is 911 and the police, who really don't care nothing about you. Only thing they're trying to do is look for a way that they can upsell you and get some more revenue out of you. That's what the police is all about today. That's what the police, because, the police used to be, the lynch mobs that would come and lynch people. Now they're all come full circle. And I keep telling you, you dial 911, you're going to die because the police is not designed to protect you. Ask them. I don't care what they say on the car. I don't care what the news media tell you. The police is not designed to protect you. But I tell you, isn't that sad? I mean, even here, I walk down this road and I'll see neighbors. This is in Canada now. I walk down this road and see neighbors, and they'll each be working in their yard, and neither one of them will say a word to each other. Not one word. Not one word. Everybody doing their own little thing. But guess what? They're united with the government, though. They're united with the government. Ain't that the way Americans are? You look out to see what your neighbor is doing. They're on their own land, mind their own business. But if it's something that you don't like, you call the police on them, and the police protect you because you have now become an agent for them, eyes for them, neighborhood watch. That's why I don't have any confidence in man today, because they're as dumb and stupid today, and they're even going to more of stupidity than what we've ever seen before in our life. And anyone who exercises any type of self-autonomy, anyone who ever exercised any type of freedom or liberty or independence, they got you thinking that these people are criminals because they're not under the thumb and the tool of the rule of government.